Okay. Right. So when we talk about Bitcoin ETF, there are companies that are on Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF. So ETF, Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, they are spot kind of shares. So what we are doing is that they are make Bitcoin a company shares, all right? Shares of those companies, and they have different names, all right? One of it kind is the BlackRock, and that's why you are saying it. So IBT, that's iShares Bitcoin Trust, all right? All right, so iShare Bitcoin Trust. So BlackRock, largest by the total volume. So BlackRock, well, Fidelity, Grayscale, Bitwise, Bitcoin, Grayscale, they have many. Okay, so they have many. So there are different companies. Now, so this ETF is different. Then we have Ethereum ETF. There are many of them. BlackRock is still taking the lead. All right, with your Ether, ICS, Ethereum Trust, BlackRock. All right, so Grayscale too, Fidelity, Bitwise, Van Eek. All right, Grayscale, they have like a mini again. So Franklin Ethereum, 21 iShares Core Ethereum. So they are different companies that have this. Now, those to make it simple and for you to know why there is a need for you to settle down as much as possible to take your business, all the businesses you are doing very seriously, is the fact that if these companies can help to diversify, let me show you something that many of us wouldn't know. And these are the people because they are the one buying Bitcoin in heavy volume. Now, these are more reason why most of us that are trading, we don't pay attention to micro or macro information about the investment. All right. This one segment of remember the whole idea of this series is not just to teach you about cryptocurrency, it's not just to teach you about Forex, it's not just to teach you about network marketing. It's not just, it's to tell you about the need to build your digital portfolio against the conventional portfolio. And if you are joining for the first time, maybe I need to remind you, even if you are not joining for the first time, there's something you need to take a look here. We said building a digital portfolio is the modern equivalent of acquiring prime real estate, but without the headache, all right, of physical maintenance, property taxes, or geographical limitation. In 2026, wealth is no longer just measured by the bricks you own, that is, how many building structure you hold, but by the algorithms you control. So the building you are seeing that somebody is paying for the maintenance, there are people behind that make more than the people who are, actually doing the maintenance. Do you understand? And so they are very important that you understand these aspects. And so you take your business very seriously. I've listened to a lot of people, and by the grace of God, we've been in the crypto space for a very long time. And then we said, don't play with the crypto because time will come to get out of the hands of retail people and get to the hands of the mean guys who control the economy. And once it comes to that, it's very, 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 it's going to be very difficult for some persons to actually meet up. Of course, you should know that it's going to be very difficult for some persons to meet up. Now, it's not about, because I've listened to a lot of people when you are in this space, like what I share with us sometime, and then how will you feel if you are part of the people that have Bitcoin price and from the if you are the type that if you are part of the people who bought Bitcoin with $20 and bought 200,000 pieces of Bitcoin, and now right now the money is worth over how many $1 billion, right? So how will you feel? You'll be so happy. And so don't complain that you miss out all of those things, but what are you now doing? Because things are changing. And two major massive algorithms that are changing the whole thing. Because I listen to a lot of people, I said there are the sequence of your investment. Maybe if you don't understand, the sequence of your investment is like this. Because I told you that Book of Proverbs chapter 24, verse number 27 talked about why you need to build your feed, which is your cash flow, before coming back to build your home. So many people have to, I have make money, I need to build house, I need to buy land. Is it wrong? No. So now this is how the sequence of business run and sequence of actually financial capacity run. Number one, this is the sequence. Number one is called cash flow. Now listen, if you do not have cash flow, I'm sorry, you are as good as nothing, because cash flow is what required to take care of all your daily activities, everything that's happening. Now, the other flow is now like this, from cash flow to asset, right? To asset, all right? And so asset is still similar to what is going to be generating cash flow, right? But so now, if you first of all think about your cash flow, then the next you want to talk about is talking about your asset. So if I talk about my asset, then the next flow can now you talk about three is called legacy. So now in the business world and the kind of sequential order of business, cash flow is number one. Anything you are doing is how to be liquid. Go and ask the banking system. Bank taking your land as a collateral is not the facial value of the land. They will take it as a collateral. They will take it of disposable. That is auctioneer price. So they will look at auctioneer price of this asset, all right, of this land, of this building. The auctioneer price of this building is what they will use to weigh your loan. So once you do not pay and they have gotten to a level of liquidating that your asset, now auctioneer price is what's going to make them have their liquid very fast. So it's not that, okay, my land worth 100 million naira, and then you took loan of 100 million naira. The facial value is 100 million naira. No, what it worth for them to liquidate it in an auction price is what they will use in measuring your loan. So if you have 100 million naira land, and you are taking loan of maybe 30,000 million or 30 million naira or 25 million naira. So if they see that the fastest way of selling that land, they can sell 30 million as fast as possible. So you can be worthy of that. So they will do the valuation. So you can be worthy of that loan of 30 million. So when they are going to auction it, they are not looking at what does it worth right now. They are looking at how fast can we dispose it. So it's disposable value, and also in an auction market that's going to determine if they will. And I like you to know that no bank actually, bank don't like giving loan for real estate because they call it an illiquid asset. Many don't know, right? And but good a thing, the world we are now, there are smart way that people who have been in the industry are now doing. That's why you're hearing about issue of land banking. Now, if I show you what land banking is still mean, you will see that the land banking in the categories of investment is still fall back to cash flow. What is land banking? So many real estate companies now, big real estate company, I'm not talking of hypes. Now, what they do is that, like Nigeria is happening, if you go to Ikoyi and different places, even on a different platform, I'm going to show you in another day, is that you do what we call down payment, not down payment to become the owner of the land. So they use your money to develop some of the land, and then you can be part of the people they are paying royalty, and depending on the contract you have with them, some can say every 3 months, some can say every 6 months. So, and then for a year, maybe the total profit, the total return they want to be given to you is so a month. All right. Then some you can do the outright buying of the segment, and they are doing the one checking to the maintenance and paying you to the time. And if time comes, you say you want to dispose it, it will be easy because another person will acquire it. Now, why would they acquire it? They are not the one looking for people who want to rent the house, or they are going to do the maintenance. All of these things have been fashioned in by the real estate company. Now, so the aspect of when you see a lot of people, do you have a piece of land? Do you have a landed property? No, if your landed properties or your building is all about, I've just bought a land now, sorry. So your land is a legacy. Your building is a legacy. So before you jump into legacy, now your cash flow is not secure. Your asset is not secure. You jump into legacy. I'm sorry. Because legacy are things that you can't actually think about easily disposing them. I'm speaking of from experience. You have a need of money, try to want to sell your land, especially those land that are still on the developing area. Even the one that is in developed area, it's not going to work that way because it's not a cash flow, it's a legacy. So first of all, you think about cash flow. And that's why you see that people with huge amount of capital, you see that they lock their money into mutual fund, treasury bill, government bond. You say, why don't they not come to do conventional business? They know what they have faced in conventional business. Especially if the person is not a businessman. So he's not going to go say, okay, let me go to oil and all of that. It's not going to do that because it knows that that's not this area and all of that. So, but it can still make money from oil. It can still make money from those companies, agriculture. And I've told you how you make money from oil, agriculture. You buy into stock of such company. Like, so I've told you about what you bought into Presco many years back. It's into farming, oil palm production. So every growth in that company affects him because it's making dividend and at the same time price appreciation of that. So this is a smart way, but at the end of the day, that's his cash flow, and at the same time, it's an asset, right? So you can see some things you have, they form your cash flow, and at the same time, your asset. How? You bought a stock that is into a dividend-based stock. Like Presco is a dividend-based stock. MTN is a dividend-based stock. Now you buy MTN, right? You don't need to establish a communication network, but you are bought into it. So every growth and good thing happening in call it for me in the MTN is affecting you, and then they are paying dividend. That dividend is your cash flow. You are getting paid twice a year. Sometimes there's a bonus. First Bank does that too. Outside your dividend, they give some bonus and all of that. So that's a cash flow. Now, the one that is more regular that you can predict that this is this, that's where I'm talking about bond, and I'm going to show you. Now, so why you see people, so we now say this is it. Why digital portfolios beat physical real estate for lease? Zero maintenance, infinite scale, right? Higher liquidity. So selling a house takes months of paperwork. So you can liquidate your pivot a digital portfolio in seconds, allowing you to move capital to where the highest alpha is, e.g., shifting from gold to high-performing synthetics. I'm just giving you a practical example. So now, the same thing, that's why you see people who are investing um, in ETF. So I know many of you, when you hear about Bitcoin ETF, many do not really understand. All right. So now these people are afraid. So you, if you are following us in Plan B Express, you shouldn't be interested in want to invest in ETF. If I see you want to be interested in investing in ETF and you're in Plan B, it means you are not learning, you are not following, all right, or you are not ready to even understand what we do practically. Because what we do is for you to be in charge, but it's not about those kind of hype people are doing here and there. So look at example. Let's go. I'll show you something. And that's why many persons, when they are moving here and there, will tell them, hey, you know what you are jumping around about, we know what is controlling the price. Look at Bitcoin ETF. Now, let me show you something very quickly. You see, sometimes I'll come and tell you, this is about data, macro data. Now, look at it. Bitcoin is supposed to go up. All right. Yeah, but we have not finished. But the kind of what we call sentimental analysis of Bitcoin today, even though it corrected the previous day, it will be going up this week. And also, I told us after the pullback. Let me give you one example. This is grayscale. All right. So the grayscale ETF, they bought on the 17th, that's last week, Friday, right? They bought total number of 55.92 Bitcoin. Do your calculation, multiply how many it is. Now, this BlackRock bought about 3,700 and something. Then this guy's Fidelity bought about 2018, 2,180 or something, 1,570. This one bought 50, Jesus Christ, 508 Bitcoin, 5 this. Now, for sale, there was no seller, all right? So at the end of the day, we have total volume in 8,840, 8,084 Bitcoin. Now calculate it. Just do your calculation. Price of Bitcoin presently maybe $75,000. So just say 8,084. 8,000, that's 0.8084. All right. Multiply by $75,000. Okay, so this is 1, 2, that's $606 million was injected into Bitcoin, only one day. Now, before then, there were some that sold. And that was why maybe on that Wednesday, Thursday. So there are some things we do. I'm just exposing you to some things. What you are learning in this place is what people pay heavy amount of money for. But it's just to simplify, to let you know that something control the chart. So Wednesday and Thursday, there were many who sold. Grayscale sold. these people sold, they sold massively, and then, but we still have very powerful inflow. The inflow still surpass outflow. That means demand still surpass supply. Though you are going to have pullback, and that's exactly, look at what happened. So Bitcoin, yeah, so let's go to Bitcoin. So, okay, so it has even retraced. So can you see now? Oh, all my market has flushed already. Good. I was just, so that there's a heavy volatility this morning. Now, so from last week, Friday, even before the Friday, there were so many buy, sell, buy, sell. And then on that Friday, so the inflow, so there was a pullback. Now, if today, right, when we wrap up, tomorrow we'll have the data of today and we'll have more buys, then Bitcoin will continue going up. But if you have more sell, the Bitcoin will continue, Bitcoin will return back. So if there are more sell, it will continue going down because you know it was already going down right now. So let me go to daily time frame and show you, right? So if there are more sells, right, Bitcoin will continue to go down because that is what it's doing here. Now, what these people who invested in ETF does is that they invest in ETF. They're not interested in knowing what the chart is doing. So they are going to be making money based on the growth of the ETF. Let me quickly show you. So I will now tell you. So all of these things I'm mentioning, you know, many of us are still struggling to even understand internet. Then blockchain came. Okay. Many of us are struggling to understand internet, but blockchain came in. Now, why people are now trying to okay, I think crypto are now getting understanding. AI is in. Now, you'll see that the influence of these three things I mentioned on the global market is heavy. Number one, the internet was what helped for more kind of spread activities of the whole market, the crypto market, commodity market, the stock market, the forex market. Many of you may not understand the influence of, let me just quickly show you. If you listen to my voice note yesterday, where I told a lot of people to be serious with our copy system, AI technology, I just discovered that we are very early. But if you play with it, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going to happen because so many things already happening. Understanding the power of leverage and seizing opportunity in the lifetime of such opportunity. I mentioned about a lot of things, and there's thing that I mentioned here about creativity. Many do not actually listen to it. So I say creativity is the ability to produce original, valuable, and low and novel ideas, solution, or artistic forms of connecting disparate concepts. It involves divergent thinking. Now, this is the problem we have today. You see, those of us who are parents, you see some of your children, right? There's a behavior they're exhibiting. Stop hitting them badly. Pay attention to them and explore the good thing. God might have blessed him with a talent. Now, some of us, you just want your child to conform to your behavior. I'm not saying your child should be behaving, arbitrary, something terrible, but you need to sit down to know what is in this child is beyond that your analog kind of thinking. And why? Because of creative idea given to him. Look at how that thing actually happened. It involved divergent thinking. What do you think about divergent thinking? Different thinking from the conventional, the usual, the norms. And so because the person is not abiding to the norms, you see him as a very stupid person. Moving beyond default. All right? Moving beyond default, routine, or box in thought patterns. That's thinking in the box. And is considered a critical 21st century skill applicable to all field, not just the art. But look at the three components that make sure so that when you come to this thing, you understand why we're doing what we're doing. Originality and utility. Now, if fantastically, then the utility is very important. So creative work must be both new. So when is that new beyond what you used to know? And that's what killed a lot of people that they didn't participate in cryptocurrency. In fact, Bill Gates, many people thought Bill Gates activities was about internet. No, Bill Gates activities was about data. Microsoft was a data, applications. It was not internet. He never even thought internet was important. He said it was impossible. How can we do this? Internet, the capacity of internet. So go and read about that. Bill Gates never believed about internet. So many thought that Bill Gates, when you talk about it, Bill Gates talk of internet. No, he has nothing to do with internet. Now, that was why, if you look at it, many of us, you will laugh when you leave here today. Why? When Bill Gates started, so doing his Microsoft, many of you will remember even to the early 2000s and all of that, millennium and all of that, we still have Microsoft 2000, Microsoft 2003, Microsoft 2005, Microsoft 2000 and so Microsoft 2007, Microsoft 2010. I think as at the time 2010. Now, do you know that people were using Microsoft that time? When 2007 came, they were not comfortable because they couldn't see all of the futures. They still went back to 2003. That because the 2007 was too difficult. While they were still talking about how difficult the 2007 was, the 2010 came. All right. So the 2010, when it came, people were angry. What kind of thing is this? It's too complex. Now, as at that time, many of you, if you're an IT person, become an IT person. Now, you go back, and for us that time, when you buy a laptop or you buy anything, we load your everything, your window, we load it locally. We just load it, we buy pack, all right, and it will have code. We will load it. Applications on that window, we load it too. Especially Microsoft application for typing, for Excel, we will load it. So as at those times, Bill Gates don't believe our internet has it going to. When he saw the influence, he was forced to synchronize. Why do you think that you don't load again? That was when he now had what we call Microsoft 365. You will subscribe to it on the internet. So there was nothing like needing for key, the offline key again. Why? Because the application, there were other applications that were already Notepad and everything online that people are now using. Now, if Brigade does not upgrade the Microsoft everything into the internet, it was going to just be losing out because nobody is ready, to get into other things. And that's why you see that this is Microsoft, right? But it's on the Google. So now the Google Doc now have all of those things. So if you refuse to, go to and what is the first advantage of this? So if all of us have access to this document now, anytime I make, improvement on it, added any content, it will reflect on you need to start typing it. You don't need to be obsolete. So just understand. So we're still now struggling with that. Blockchain came. And then we're still now saying, then the AI. Now, many do not understand that the AI has actually come to disrupt. But there's something very important I want to show here. Connecting concepts frequently involves combining existing ideas, knowledge, or feeds in a new ways. But look at this. Most important I want you to see. Process and the risk. It's an imperative, often rebellious. So there are some character you see in maybe your subordinate, you call it rebellious. No, sit down and explore. Don't let pride kill you. Call him, sit him down, and explore from him. There's a creative idea he's getting, but because you are so conformed to the norm and you want him to conform, it won't work. I'm like that anyway. I'm very disruptive. So I'm not used to the normal routine. I can be very, very disruptive. So process that acquire curiosity, all right? And then a willingness to embrace potential failure. Yes, if you didn't work well, no problem. And that's why, like in trading, we said, you don't have right to condemn any strategy until you have used it more than 100 times consecutively and fail you. Then leave it. Now, some of you just say, hey, I entered the trade at that time. It didn't work. I just tire. Excuse me. All right? So now look at the disruption. Many of you want to understand the advancement and the influence of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and cryptocurrency influence on Forex. It's crazy. I'm not going to that, but just to give you an idea. Now, beyond this, if they are buying this, that means we have more inflow. If more buy come up today, because by tomorrow you will now see the update of the last buy. If more buy come up today, then we're going to have something like this. A more fantastic move up. All right, a more fantastic move up. Now, some of you who trade future trading and all of that, you see all this buying is what they use to liquidate in your account. Look at another great data here. Now, you don't need to know much of this, but I'm just sharing with you, where do you take your own market shares? You see all of these points you are seeing here, this line, we call them liquidity point. Now, a market moves, liquidity, we refer to it in trading as a fuel of price. So market price is attracted to where liquidity lies. And that's why you see the market will be moving from one liquidity to the other. Some of us do not understand. So you just jump around and all of that and say, hey, the market is doing this. Now, very conclusively, let me just do you this before I just see if I can go to chart and if we can find a market. But I told us, some of us who are new, that even if you are not new, even on our forum, I said, you want to enjoy trade, don't exactly gold and all of that. Do it in the morning, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. You enter your trade, you make money. 6 a.m. to whatever, you make money. But don't worry, I'll just to share it with you. Now, let me just show you an example quickly because many have asked me this. I want to ask now some person who want to say, I want to buy into ETF. The question I ask people is that how much money do you have to buy into ETF? How much money do you have to buy into ETF? But let me just show you something very quickly, and then we'll look at if you can have one in the market. And that reminds me, if you are still on, if you're on the forum and you are not yet participating on our AI Tech Copy X, you are missing a lot. And because I'm talking about digital asset, and then many do not understand. So there are some things maybe you have failed in because you do not understand even what you were doing when you fail in some of those things. And then when maybe opportunity that come to help you, you will disregard it.
Recording in progress.
Okay. And the unfortunate aspect is that you are meeting with Felix, who was not ready to motivate or motivated people, who is just ready to share. My own is to share. My own is to teach, is to enlighten, is to educate people how you can maximize, this digital aid to build a digital portfolio. So let me show you an example quickly, and so that we can learn some things around it. Okay. So let's go first. Okay, let me just, okay. Now look at it. Some of you look at it on Bamboo. What it means to buy ETF, crypto ETF, Bitcoin ETF, is that you are buying into, all right, you are buying into fractional value of Bitcoin that was converted to shares. So Bitcoin is $70,000 or 70 something, $75,000. So the ETF price with grayscale is 67.38. So if I'm buying this now, so you can see that people who bought into this ETF before, or you can set what we call recurrent buying. These are powerful things that was this different exchange give to us, like Bybit. We have a bot on Bybit that you can be buying coin repeatedly. Do you see that? This is a share. So when you hear about ETF, it's shares of crypto, but by different company. So you can see now say about FTPs, this is a trust investment objective is to seek to track the performance of Bitcoin as measured by the performance of the Fidelity Bitcoin reference rate. So the index adjusted for the trust expenses and other liabilities. All right. Sector, commodity contract brokers. That is ETF. So this is Fidelity. Now, so if you check, so if I want to, so it's Fidelity, and then so let me check. Maybe so let's see if Grayscale is listed here. That would be GBTC. All right, can you see that? So look at GBTC. This is ETF, but $60 because of the shares of this company. It depends on how powerful this company does it own. So when these guys are doing buying and selling of Bitcoin in spot, many of you, hey, I don't like spot trading. You are just wasting your time. That's why we say building your own portfolio in crypto does not require actually maybe you want to say, okay, I want to invest in ETF, but you can now see why you need to be the ETF of yourself. Okay. Now, this is a shares of, Bitcoin on what we call them, um, grayscale. So if I buy into it, and then the percentage of growth on their buying and balance sheet, so balancing of their buy and selling differences, now is going to amount to your growth. So you are not going to be affected by over volatility of Bitcoin. All right. So, but you can be making money on it. So if that is the case, what is now getting you afraid of now knowing that Bitcoin is not a play or cryptocurrency is not for play? It's a place you have to learn, sit down and say, oh, I think I need to maximize opportunity therein. Okay. So now quickly, now the power of AI and what is already doing now is so massive. Okay. Now, all of these things we have mentioned, Somebody don't want to encounter lose of so much money, and that's why I put money in ETF, right? Good and fine. So if that's the case, why this person put money in ETF, all right? So that means it's simple. And I'll show you something very massive today. Now, some of the headache and stress a lot of people have why they are looking at investing into not being able to take advantage of opportunity in online are majorly this. Let's look at it. Majorly this. Number one, problem limiting people not to maximize forex and cryptocurrency. Number one, lack of trading and technical skills. Agree? Agree with me, just time, agree. Everybody, if you agree with me, some of the problem limiting many people not to take advantage of forex and cryptocurrency, number one is lack of trading and technical skills. Agree? Just write agree on the chart so that will be on agreement. If you agree with me that one of the problem limiting people not to take advantage of the opportunity in the crypto and forex market is lack of trading and technical skills. Agree? Fantastic, right? Agree. Yeah. So that means we agree that one of the biggest problem that people have not to invest in this space is lack of either weak or lack, but in total, we just put it under lack and no technical skills. And to acquire technical skills in trading, now I'm a trader, right? I can tell you, if anyone tells you that when you go out to say, oh man, trading, man, we're making man money, multi, making plenty money, it's not true. Trading is simple, but it's not easy. So the second thing is that not really know which one to go because of too many Ponzi. Agree? Ponzi schemes. The problem associated with Ponzi schemes. So you can't really define which one is real, which one is not real. Agree? Number two. Agree? Right? Now, let me see. I want to see how many of you agree with me. Ponzi scheme. So do you agree that Ponzi scheme is another headache? Now, it put fear on people. It put fear on people everywhere and all of that. Agree? Good. Now, another one is liquidity and equity. That is, your own from your own side. You don't have enough money. You don't have it. Also, liquidity and equity, L and E. Agree? Who agree to it? So L and E, liquidity and equity, are problem to all of this while limiting people into the crypto, the forex opportunity. Agree? Right? Agree? So I say someone say yes, one of the major problems. Thank you very much. Agree, right? Good. I love that. Agree. Now, another thing is ridiculous. So now, when we saw solution, there was a solution we got into liquidity and all of that is called Profem. Now, one of the another ridiculous, terrible issues about it is the aspect of ridiculous practices and rules by Profem. Agree? Ridiculous practice. So that means, let's say R and R. So R, ridiculous practice and rules by Profem. Agree? How many of us agree? Now, so for some of us who are even have learned and all of that, some of somebody say 100%. Okay, so can you see all of this problem? Okay, somebody say agree. Okay, now another problem is volatility. All right, so volatility has to do with the movement of the market. So we call it volatility and manipulation. Manipulations, right? Volatility and manipulation are V and M, so VM. So I agree that volatility and manipulation in the market is another great problem. VM. So I agree to VM that volatility and manipulation in the market is another headache that everyone actually have issues in maximizing the opportunity. Okay, now look at what another happened. So I talk about creativity and innovations in the market and what people have done. Now, the solution that you have gotten, though, now there are questionable issues. There are questionable issues in the market. Today, that's why till tomorrow, what I love about Bybit is amazing. What Bybit have been doing, I've never seen a kind of creativity and innovations. All right? Creativity and innovation, yes, from brokers. Thank you very much. Creativity and innovations that Bybit did. Now, listen, I do not have energy, okay, I do not have energy to actually trade by myself. I do not have, because I can't meet up with this. Because let me show you what it takes to be a real trader, and really, really a real trader indeed. Now, we have the world best forex traders as follows. And nobody have beat the record of this man. He's called George Soros. George Soros is one of the most renowned forex traders in the world and considered a legend in financial cycles. He earned the nickname the man who broke the Bank of England by making the whopping $1 billion in a single day during the 1992 Black Wednesday UK currency crisis by short selling the British pound, that is GBP USD. All right. So Soros continues to be an active trader through his firm, Soros Fund Management. He is admired not only for his trading acumen, but also the philanthropic effort and both leadership in social economic issues. Now, look at the unique aspect of, okay, that this one didn't mention it. There were a platform that show you the unique aspect of George Soros. They talked about George Soros, who was trading what? With patience. Now, if I tell you, only God knew how he had been projecting and do macro analysis, waiting one trade or just one trade. He just shot the trade. Not the daily kind of a thing. He just shot. Definitely the trading must have been losing. Do you think that strategy he developed or waiting for that market was one day? Now, so it means, let me tell you categorically speaking, you don't have patience, you have nothing to do with trading. You don't have patience, you have nothing to, in fact, not just patience, extra patience. You have nothing to do with trading. So if that means it's a difficult thing, so but you have to develop it. It's over the years. But let me tell you, if you don't have a backup and you are just doing trading, then you must have somebody you are leaning on to tell you the raw truth. It's not all of those, I jump, hey, I flip my account. Trading is not flipping of account. Trading is outcome. So that means if it's an outcome, you may be there for as long as possible for the outcome to either come positive or negative. Now I'm just showing us that if we check all of these guys, they were something similar to them in their style. So I wouldn't have time for that today. Even some upcoming women that are becoming part of it, there was something that was so significant to their style, patient, waiting. It's also a lot of things that were aligned. You see, with a career spanning over 20 years in the financial market, Cathy Lane is known for the unique blend of technical and fundamental analysis. She has written several popular investment books, including Day Trading and Swing Trading, the currency market, technical and fundamental strategies to profit from the market swings. She frequently appears. So when I'm going to do another one on them, you're going to see how these people actually always wait in trade. She is currently the manager. Okay, proud to this. She was okay, right? Look at the respected financial analyst, author, and all of that. She was I'll say where they provided research and all of that. So we will see one unique aspect about them. They didn't just start in one day. Look at this man again. Andre Kreker is a successful forex trader renowned for his aggressive trading style. In 1987, while working for Bankers Trust, he shorted the New Zealand dollar during a mass selling of the currency, earning a profit reported by various sources to be around $300 million. This infamous trade earned him the nickname Kiwi Killer. Now let's go to the market quickly. Some of us who are always jumping around. So I think I have a market that was running on Bitcoin, and I see that what Bitcoin want to do was an inducement. Let's go. I was already on a massive profit, but because of the trading, sorry, not you, because I may forget. That's how I trade. Sometimes I will forget while I'm busy with other things. Okay, good. I will not stop you. You can be running. Okay. So now, what have I said now? What I've said is this simple. One of the biggest thing, I'll quickly show you because I make it on a voice note. I was just doing my research. I was curious about the people I told about AI tech in connection to tag market. Now, we've not seen it in the industry before. People are learning, maximizing opportunity, and all of that. But one thing that happened that stood out was, I think I mentioned this here, that I mentioned it somewhere here. Where are you? I mentioned it somewhere here. Don't worry. Over time, when you are serious, I'm going to give you this my information and give you guides much. So the evolution of forests took evolutionary turn and all of that. Okay, so I'm a researcher. Okay, I do a lot of research. Now, in 1990, saw explosion of online trading platform thanks to the rapid growth of yada 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 internet. Okay, internet and personal computing. This era marked a major yada yada yada, and all of that trading restrictions and all of that. Launch of first retail yada yada yada, and then electronic computing network, and then talking about coming to AI time, and then how now look at it something here. Execute trading milestone, capitalizing in the price fluctuation. Use AI-driven strategies to predict market number one trend, then automate trading using bots and expert advisors. So you now see that it get more easier for you. So when I saw, tag market, this um about problem of liquidity and AI. So that means solving two major problems at the same, no, three major problems at the same time. Technical problem for people who do not know how to trade. Number two, liquidity because I may not know how to trade, but I do not equally have liquidity. Okay, we'll do your amplify account. Then number three, okay, for the fact that I don't know how to do analysis, you have told me, okay, don't worry, we have solution that's coming for you. I don't have much money. We have solution for you. So solving the three major problem, as it were. So my little money get amplified. Number one. Number two. I can't trade by myself. Don't worry. We help you to boot autopilot, and that was when the aspect of Sonic AI came to play. Now, many of us who do not understand. Now, I was sharing with somebody the other day. See, being the market and don't know what to do part time, another innovation come, you start fighting the innovation. So they always tell us like when cryptocurrency, Bitcoin come, they say if you do not understand it, they will first fight you. When they cannot win you, they begin to learn you. When they learn you, they will not join you. That's exactly what they do. In crypto, the people who are picking it now, JP Morgan, all of them, they were the one fighting Bitcoin. But today, what happened? They went back and learned Bitcoin. All right. After learning it, what do? They join it. Now you take advantage of where they were angry and do not understand. Since you understand, you just face your own business and be making money. Now, but the worst thing is that those people do not understand, and you now join them taking information from them. Some of them understood anyway. They are intentional. They use their power so that you run away. And then when you run away, they pack it. That's the game. So you don't blame them for anything. You blame yourself. And exactly what happened. How many people have been in cryptocurrency for the past 5, 8 years now can boast of even one Bitcoin? Now, but these guys have enough money, no matter how expensive it is, they will capture it. Now, write today's date down. Today is 20th of April 2026. Write today's date down. Please, after now, I just want to urge everybody. After now, as you are doing your business, either you are trading your Forex or you are doing automation and all of that, please, I want you to be intentional. You go back and make sure, all right? You go back and make sure you sit with Bitcoin and understand the cycle. Of course, if you're in plan B, pay attention to most knowledge we are impacting so that you know when to buy into the next cycle of Bitcoin. Be intentional. I know what I'm talking about. Be intentional so that you can accumulate no matter how fractional of Bitcoin you can acquire. One of my mentors have told me, Felix, make sure you have one Bitcoin if you want to become a millionaire. He said it doesn't matter how many years it take you, just have one Bitcoin and keep it in a wallet. Forget about it there. It's not your money. He said when Bitcoin become $1 million, you don't stress. You become a millionaire in dollars straight up. Okay, so now I'm now giving you that same descendant information. Be intentional, no matter what you are making. Maybe that should be your legacy project. So you are getting small money and then putting it back. You are getting small money and putting it back into the system. It's very, very important. So now, like I was saying, look here, coming over here. Okay. Yeah, I bought Bitcoin in the morning and I've made my profit in Bitcoin. So you can attest to if Bitcoin is still going to buy. Let's go first. Let me just quickly check something. Um, Please, if you have this scanner and you are not learning to understand it, you are going to be really abusing fantastic opportunity with yourself. That means you are lazy-minded, not learning at all because it's very, very important. And the better you learn it, it's better than Felix. You know why it's better than Felix? Now, you can be independently with it, okay? And ask and ask the scanner yourself, where is the market going to? I've told us how to use the scanner so very quickly. So I've told you why you need to buy Bitcoin, and I've told you the reason for AI automation. So before I come into this market, let me quickly show you something. When I saw people were complaining, no, tag market, no, what they are doing is wrong and all of that. Why did you do the 12x? How do they do it? Is it not a high? Is it not? I just told somebody, I say, write it down. Some brokers, some forex broker will soon pack off from business because nobody is interested in your name. People are loyal to what they can make, not you. If you think that people are coming to you for who you are, no, it's what can they get? And also, it's normal, it's natural. That's the narcissism in man. If you have nothing to offer, nobody comes to you. It's a law of attraction, so don't get it wrong. Even if you have something to offer and then you as usual as the conventional, nothing's changing, the same routine and all of that, no. Yeah, so you can't get it. The attraction is that, okay, what new, what change? Okay, how do we boost it and all of that? I've just told you about digital asset and all of that. People are coming to you, yeah, have you bought a property? Have you bought land? Have you bought it? It's the normal thing. It's the usual. After buying the land, after buying the building, how much am I making with it? An asset is anything that pays you money. Anything that doesn't pay you is not an asset, it's a liability. That you have buildings here, your house is very big and all of that, and then you are not getting paid. It's a liability. That's the truth. Okay. So now, when they look at the 12x and 24x of tag market, I was laughing. And the new company, not a new company, I'm sorry, a company, a company, not a new company. This is another broker. I'm sure many of you, if I say mention some broker in the world now or in Nigeria, you will mention what we call HFS. Now, what is this? 10x your trading capital. Keep 100% of the profit and trade without limit. But you can copy a system, but you may not know the idea, underlying unique idea. Now, look at the challenge. So they say, what if you could 10x your trading capital instantly without jumping through hoops, splitting your profit, or worrying about restrictive rules? Now, what this is referring to is about prop firm. The regular practice of prop firm, of course, many are changing, amending, is that how does it work? You want to access more fund. So you are asked to register, pay an amount. So let me use an example. Funded next, let me just use it. So you understand what we call opportunity, funded next. Okay, so this is funded next. So it's a prop firm, right? So now funding peeps, all of them, they're prop firm. Yes, we use them. Now, look at funded next. If I want to participate in funded next, so I'm going to pay, and funded next even try, their practice is powerful right from day one. They're the first that pay people from your challenge account. Now, but look at it. Assuming I want to participate in funded next, maybe it's 2 step or 1 step. What I'm required to do, number one, let's say I want to get $15,000 account. Now I will pay $119. Let's go $120 to access it if it's 2 step. If it's 1 step, I will pay $9. Let's say $130. Now, what I'm required to do is to trade on that account and make profit of 10%. So you calculate 10% of $15,000. That's first step. But while I'm trading, I must make sure that my maximum drawdown does not hit 6%. Daily drawdown does not hit 3%. If you hit 3%, I've lost the account and 130 is gone. So you have nothing to get from it. Now, so when you have past this level, you must be well disciplined. Why I love prop firm is that it would discipline you. You would learn. All right. So when you now pass, then you now get to the level of funded. The rules are still applied now, but there's no target. Some prop firm will give you minimum target. You must make so thing. And now the logical target now is the aspect of minimum trading day and minimum profitable days. There's all of those rules are there now. Now 0.5 of your account in 3 days, not consecutive. Then when you have done that, before you can make the first withdrawal must be up to 5 days. Now, if it's you're doing two-step, before you can make your first withdrawal must be 21 days. Now, so what these guys were now saying is this: oh, we have given you a solution. This solution are simple. The solution we've given to you is simple. You do not need to wait. You do not need to do evaluation. Put in your $100, we multiply it by 10, that will give you 1,000. Start trading 1,000. But don't lose 10%, which is don't lose your $100. That's what they're telling you. But that they have given you an edge to have volumes. Now, but look at this. Look at why, if you are on AI tech and you are building with us, don't play with what you have. Now, see what is now happening here. What they give you is 10x. The lowest you have on tag market is 12x. And it's still 10% of the drawdown. So that means if you $100 amplified to 1,002, then don't lose 120. That means don't lose your $100 and 20% of it from our own money. Now, the other things that many do not understand here, this one, you see that your capital you drop, that your money you drop. Let's say $50, all right, to $500. So if it's in tag market, $50 to $600, right? $100,000 to 1 million. If in tag market, that would be 100,000 to 24x. So you can multiply it. 100,000 to 24x, you know how much that's going to be. Not 10. If it's 12, that's 1.2. If it's 24x, that is 2.4. So, but let's say 12x, that's going to be 1.2. Now, don't lose 10%. Now, listen very well. In this, you see this 100,000 you pay for this volume. This 100,000, you cannot pick it in this platform. Go and check. Go and read about it. You cannot remove that 100,000. That 100,000 is it's a fee, not like a fee. It's a fee. After you have deposited this 100,000 naira to be amplified to 1 million, you can't withdraw that capital again. You must continue to trade until you break even. And if you cannot break even and the account is not growing and you are afraid of trading more, then you have entangled yourself. That's the reality. You can't get anywhere. But in tag market, how does it work? Very simple. You have 12x, don't lose 10%. Any amount you make, you withdraw. Now, it's just a liquidity amplification. So the cooling period is just 30 days. After 30 days, you don't like what you are seeing, you are not interested, pull out your profits, your capital, everything, and go away because it's your capital. Now, not stopping at there, say, okay, don't worry. Like me, I don't trade on tag market. I don't have that time. Why? Because there's a solution for me there, which is the Sonic AI. Now, we still help you to look for a solution, but please, that somebody was chatting with me. I don't know if the person is here. I laugh in Swahili. The person was telling me, I just saw a message. The message the person sent to me was just like this. This is not for me. I say, okay. I say, I do not understand your message. Yes. The person said, this is not for me. I say, okay. What is not for you? Please, can you come clearer? He said, the result I'm seeing, you people should not laugh. The result I'm seeing in this trading is not encouraging. I don't think I can wait for this. I now told the fellow, I said, okay, the point is this. For me, if anybody who you are a professional trader, I mean professional trader, because when we talk about professional trader, it's not just a trader, somebody who is consistent, who is winning, who is processed continuity. And that's what we call professional traders. Not, I know how to do chart. Anybody can do chart and all of that. You have the right psychology. So I told the fellow, I say, you know what? Once it's 30 days, pull out your money. Because I think he had just done 1 week or so. And his $100 has made about $4 or something. $4 of $100, that's 4%. Now, what is your challenge now? Your challenge is liquidity. Because if you have enough liquidity, I showed an account of $5,000. What I make on average on the $5,000 a day is average of 70 something, 80 something dollars and all of that. And so far, from 1st of this month till last week, Friday, the total money that one has made was $905. So of course, they will take 30%. That means I have over $600 to $700 from my 5,000 without lifting fingers. So that means at the end of the month, if they do just 1%, I'll do 24. That will be 16 point something percent. Calculate it. That means I have fantastic residual income. So I told the person, you know what? Pull out the money. Trade by yourself. If you can trade by yourself, it can be meticulous. You make more money while doing by yourself. But the question is that there are so many factors that will not make you do by yourself. Now let's quickly do this thing so that you understand the perspective. And that reminds me, please, if you are listening to me, you're already on board or you are yet to come on board, when you sign up, this is what you should do. I told some person, I said, let's say I want to start with $1,000 or I want to start with just $500. Do this for me. Put $400 first. Then the $100, you put it second. Or put $450 first. Then the $50, you put it second. And this is the magic. Why do I say? You know, remember, we say we have 90 days challenge and project 5 years in our retirement plan, 5 years retirement plan. This align with Plan B policy. Plan B policy is that 5 years to financial freedom. Good, glory be to God, you have this. So how? So let's start from the $50. So if you have $500, don't deposit the $500, but don't connect the $500. And let me make it clear, because if you do not know, please know today. If at the end of this month and they don't allow you to do 24 hours, don't cry on me, don't blame me. Or the condition they attach say anyone who wants to do 24 hours must have $5,000. Don't come and ask me, Felix, you didn't tell me. Anything can change. 24 hours may not be forever, but 12 hours may be there continually. You just see somebody now started 10 hours. That broker that showed you that started 10 years, they are 20 years in the game already. Okay, so just understand. So now, if you are doing average of 15% every month on this, which we do, all right, average of 15% every month, which we do, now we say be compounding. So how many years? We say 5 years. We're looking for 5 years. So because it's $50, I don't think you can compound every week. Maybe you could compound every 2 weeks. All right, every 2 weeks should be okay. So I'm not sure you can compound. Okay, let's just use monthly. If we use monthly, because I'm not sure you can compound every week, I doubt, except otherwise. All right. So weekly, monthly. So let's look at it. If I compound monthly, now this is it. Let's see how much. So that means if your target $50 can give you average of $219,000 at the end of 5 years, I think it's a good investment for you. The only job you have after connecting is every month. You can mark your calendar. Every month, once it's 30 days or once it's a month, go compound it, let it run for the next 5 years. Let's observe what's going to happen. This is not an investment scheme. This is a trading account. And then all your job you do, then you continue. The only problem you could have, if Sonic decide to say they are not trading again, and why would they not trade? They are not, it's not their power, it's software. They only come one day, click a button, and then you take trade and they close. They don't waste time. Okay. So if that's the case, though, that means since is monthly compounding, that means you can do $219,000. Now, why do I say put $50 separate? So that this $50, you don't touch it, just allow it to be. All right. Now, number two, the 450. This is the what you do. The 450 compound for the first 3 months. Compound for the first 3 months. Compound for the first 3 months. So 3 months. Now 450 you can be compounding weekly. Oh yes. So now, so let's see weekly for the first 3 months. Weekly for the first 3 months. Do an average of 15%. So for the first 3 months, let's see how it go. You're compounding for the first 3 months, and you are doing your compounding weekly, and you are doing it for 3 months. Let's see how much it's going to be. Now, so your 450 will be about $700. Okay, will be about $700. So that means total earnings about initial balance is 450. So total earnings about average of, so we have removed the charges, the profit share the company is going to pick. So that's, so you have done about 54 point something percent. That will be $700. Okay, now, so you can stop compounding. All right, you can stop compounding and then now making withdrawal because for your family need and all of that. So 15% of $700, you can calculate it. But if you know that your interest is to make it more reasonable, you can do it for 5 months. So let's calculate for 5 months. Maybe you can cross $1,000. Okay, it's just about 490. So I want to see if we get to $500 or $1,000. So let's do it for 6 months. So do it for the first 6 months. So 1,000. So you can do for the first 6 months since you are compounding weekly. So stop compounding after that for your own account base that you want to be withdrawing money. All right. Then why this other one? Or if you can make it $500 and compound for the first 5 months should be good. All right. Compound for the first, that would have crossed $1,000. But the $50, just let it continue to run. Now, if it's $1,000 compound for the first 5 months or 3 months. So if it's 4, 5 months, now if it's $1,000, I think you can compound every yeah, so still weekly or middle of the week. So let's just make it weekly. So calculate. So that means you have about $2,000 in the first 5 months. Then you can now allow the market to be trading while you are taking out your profit, and then allow the $100 separate you add to be compounding. That one will be not 5 months, but 5 years. Okay. So the $100, look at it, $100. So that's two, I think $100 can compound weekly. Yeah, I think so. You can compound weekly. So calculate. So that means about 695,000 at the end of your 5 years. $10 can only compound monthly. So monthly compounding. So look at it this way. Then you continue calculate. So that means you are talking about $43,000. Are you serious? That's crazy. Yes, about $43,000. If it's 10%, you are going to talk about $3,000 a day. So compare now. $10, which investment can you put this money into in 5 years to be generating this amount of money? So what I've just done to you is to understand why you need to diversify your investment. And I've given first assignment, please, whatever thing you are making, open your either wallet, may not even be, but you need an exchange. So at least to make it very simple and easy for yourself. So either wallet. So let me check if Sonic have traded today. So that we can now open if you can see one trade. I'm behind schedule. I'm sorry because we started late. It's supposed to be 1 hour period. So that started late. I'm sorry for today. Tomorrow will not happen this way. Apology for that because time is money. Person time is a crime. Okay, it's not very good practice at all. No matter what the person is going to get, we have so many things we want to do. So we can't just stay on one thing and thinking that's okay because I want to get this. So let me see if these guys have traded today. I suspected they have traded today. Okay, now let me just share with you. They have traded today. So imagine you are busy on your own. I call this money sleeping allowance. Okay, somebody's you can compound every week, sir. Okay, okay. This man is a compound interest himself. So look at it. So look at it. Today they have traded. Okay. How do I know? Because as of last week, I told you about 905. I think there's a drop. There was a trade they lost that make it to be 88 something. So I know that they have traded today. So that means look at this $5,000 account. It has $922. That's what it means. All right. So I think I compounded this one last week. Yes, I compounded it. So $10 is that. I love practicing things. This one it started from $10 last year. All right. It's already $60. You know what it means? So if I check, I cannot compound what is there now. Maybe it's very small network. So if you look at it, they have traded today. Network. Let me refresh. So we call what we make here, you call sleeping allowance. Sleeping allowance. So while you are doing your trading, do you know the advantage this one gives to you? And the good news is that we don't only have one copy system. I'm bringing it up because we have revamped all our copy system. We have two more, copy one, copy two. Many of you don't understand it. So we want to show you the best way how you can actually make money without stress. That's the truth. All right. So I've just told you what to do in your crypto because we have portfolio in crypto, and then how you need to pay attention to Bitcoin portfolio. Okay, so now let's quickly go to the market. So it has traded today. Me, I've traded today too, because I always wake up in the morning. I told you at 1 a.m. I was doing training on 1 a.m. before, but I was not regular. So, but if you are in the group and you have this scanner, you don't need me. I'm telling you, just follow the instruction I've given. You don't need me. So now let's look at Bitcoin. What can we do? Bitcoin, I've told you that Bitcoin was selling since last week. Now there was a sell, but there was a buy I bought today. First, what we do, I'm summarizing now my stuff and I'm bow out shortly. Now, look at Bitcoin. It says sell since that last week. People have made money for the sell. Now, you come on 4 hours. Bitcoin is seated on top of a very strong support. That's what this scanner is showing you. A very strong support. A very strong support. So what's going to happen? Are we going to get down or get up and all of that? It sounds somehow confusing, right? So now I go to 1 hour. Probably that's where I found a trade. But you see that that trade was not strong enough. This is why I tell people when you find a trade, always do your 1:2 risk reward. Don't stay, I know that the market is going. No, 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 don't do that. So this is a strong support though on 1 hour. Make a lot of sense. So what I do is simple. As I saw it on 1 hour, so what did I do? I came down to 5 minutes, very simple. So we're already doing the top-down analysis without understanding it. Why? Because there's a tool that's helping you. So when I came back to 5 minutes, so that was where I took the trade. I think I took the trade from both 5 minutes, 3 minutes, they repeated the same. Our scanners have said buy. Now, this is changing state of delivery. Why? Many of you will say three candle close are our scanners style. Three candle close. Three candle close. Now, but when it turns to what we call two candle, it's called change in state of delivery. What is change in state of delivery? This candle, so this thing are supposed to be three. I've taught this thing before. I'm not going to go detail about that. This candle is supposed to be three, like this, like this. Okay, we have change in state of delivery. Virtually all the signals gave change the state of delivery. This sell, I was not going to sell because that's not a confirmed sell. Now, so if I go to 3 minutes, remember, this is where the chart is. Was it not here? Something like that. So if I go to 3 minutes, if you give me more refinement, that will going to make a lot of sense. So it gave more refinement, but still change the state of delivery. So my entry here, so you don't need anybody. Seriously, if you can stay and understand this scanner, you will be making money every time. You don't need me. All right. So 1:2 risk reward is the entry ordinarily. So that means that one was done here. So depending on how much you inject to the market, now this sell, I was not going to sell because the market is dicey anyway. So I was not going to sell because it didn't give me a very good confirmation. This buy, you're going to buy because this is a very fantastic confirmation. Now, if you want to use three candle close because maybe this body did not close above this, you wait for the third candle confirmation, and that means your entry was going to be here, and so here, and then your stop loss below here. I want to give it a buffer. You can take it down here. We don't want to give a buffer, just sniper entry alone. So 1:2 risk reward. I have told you people, those of you just hold trade without understanding what you are doing. No, don't hold. First of all, target 1:2 risk reward. See this one. Imagine if it's $300 you put into the market here, $300. So that means this is 281. How will I know the $300 to know the lot size I'm going to use? For Bitcoin straight away, all you do is that this 281, right? Okay, and I want to use $300. Just say $300 divided by 281, and we get the lot size. $300 divided by 281. It's going to give you. So you can even use one standard lot. Yes, that's what it means. So if you now say, okay, one standard, let's say one, all right? So when you say one, all right, times 300 is $300 because one standard in Bitcoin is $1. All right. So just understand it. So with this, if it's $300 you put in 1:2 risk reward, you will have made $600 straight up. That's what it means. That's why I campaign 1:2 risk reward so much. Now, so imagine if you're now doing one and look at even the 1:2 risk reward. Here was a resistance and the market get there. It shoot up suddenly. All right. And it shoot up suddenly. If they are there and it shoot up suddenly, and this is 1:4. And if it's $300 that's your market exposure, that means you'll have done $1,200. Many of you do not understand and don't pay attention to this. So we can't find a sell or a buy because the market is dicey. And so you have to go back. Probably we'll go back to our 4 hours. Remember what I told you that what analysis did I do? I did one analysis here that make me to say, okay, the market's a bit dicey. And then that means no buy, no sell for me on Bitcoin. What should I wait for on Bitcoin? Everybody, if you are listening to me, don't sell. So wait for Bitcoin, probably return back to this support zone. So if you have a bounce there, you can say, okay, you want to buy. So if Bitcoin come down to this point and bounce, then you can buy, which means you are looking at 73,800 region. So wait for it there. And if you come there and start bouncing, go down to 5-minute time frame, and then you will see that your scanner will have asked you to buy. So if you don't have the scanner, now on the group, if Precious will help us, it may drop the signal. And then, so Precious, if you find any signal today, Monday, don't only drop it only on the paid group. You can drop it on both the paid group and on the general group. Okay, so that's one of the things. So now let's quickly go to gold. I enter gold and I've not closed that one. Now, somebody will say, how did you get to gold? I'm not going to detail analysis. Just like what I did here, you see 1 hour give a buy, and that was very simple. So when 1 hour give a buy, and that's why I will tell people to wake up 1 a.m. and all of that. So around 12 was when this buy was opened. Then when I come, it's just for me to mark it and come back to 5 minutes to see my sniper entry. Can you see that? So on 5 minutes, so as at the time, okay, as at 12:50, the buy was already there. So maybe I just wait for pullback here if you're not there at that time. Because look at at 1 a.m. when I come, this is already buy. So I do my analysis. So if I go to 3-minute time frame, just to find more refinement, 3 minutes was not as good as the 5 minute. And those of you who are learning and following our trade, you know that the 3 minutes I just showed you was not as good as 5 minutes. So I don't have time to do more. I will have done that here now. So this was not as good. So the 5 minute was just very perfect. Now, why was it very perfect? Because it gave a very good setup of our trading pattern and analysis. Okay, so there we go. I think that was the place I got a trade. Now, this is the important part of finding a trade and making it 1:2 risk reward. So this is the entry, and then this is the stop loss. So the stop loss may be 200 and something pips, or there about 240 pips. 1:2 risk reward, ladies and gentlemen, is done here. Now, if you didn't take profit here, you are waiting, I'm trailing. No, what are you trailing? Take profit first and trade the remaining one. And here, give is a pullback. So this is a counter trade. So if you take it, fine, but you must have watched where the market was stopping at. So look at it. That was a counter trend. That would have been a good trade too. You make money, but that must be that you are with gold and you get another sell. So it's very dicey now. So there's no functional buy or sell because we're having more sell and a very strong confirmed sell, though we're having this sign of support. So you have to really wait to see if the market is still going to dive down or we pass over this. So we have more momentum. Then before you can say, okay, then we'll be buying to target up here. My target was actually up to this point, and that's one of the issues about that. Quite unfortunate, I will not be able. Yesterday, I said, which one? Euro USD was going to sell first before buying, and I think that did happen. And then the JPY first bought. Many of you, when the update yesterday, I said we're going to have more first buy first on especially DSY, because when you look at the DSY on 4 hours on daily time frame, so here was already showing the market need to come here. And I say, once it come there and reject from there, how many of you remember if you're on the live section yesterday, I said it was going to come to reject here. And then I think that has happened. And that's what's going to give room for this guy to force what? Sell. And then now is struggling to break that point and all of that. So that means must have gone to 1 hour to have been able to find that trade. Can you see? So if you're on 1 hour, when you can, look at it. This is the market open, a gap, and then you have 1 hour, you will have been able to find a trade. Okay, so there's no trade I can give to us because I can't just guess and give you a trade. That would be very wrong trade and all of that. So, but if you have the scanner, go and stay with it. It's very simple and direct to use. No difficulty at all for this. And that's why we encourage people to actually get this scanner. It's going to be helpful for you. And then you pay attention to learn more how we use it and all of that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, congratulations for those of us who are firing up. And I've just told you, so in case when you want to activate your account, and I've given a scope to a lot of people. The scope I gave is this simple. If you open your AI tech, there shouldn't be anybody on Plan B Express that shouldn't have. We say everybody in your community, please, if you're a community leader, Minister to all of your community members. Let them open and verify. Let them not fund. Then the second group of people, minister to them, not forcing them. Because I can tell you tomorrow, I've written name of people, and I will share. I think, Mr. Smith, I will share with you. I've written the name of people who are going to fight me in the next 1 or 2 years. That, boss, you did not explain. Because what many people are waiting for me to start doing motivational talk. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that motivational talk because they have been beaten by some funny things and they correlate it to be the same, even though they don't even know what they evaluated when they jump into some platforms that time. So they have their reservation, and I'm not ready to motivate them. Now, it is when it's obvious they see now brokers start doing what tag market is doing, then they will now say, it's like this is a trend, though, and all of that. And many will not even have AIs. AI is doing everything today. Don't even get it twisted. I have requests of different AI solutions now that people have sent to me and all that, but I'm careful on AI. It's not about AI. How strategic and conservative are you? These are very important. Okay, so that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So pay attention and let's work. So tell your people, register your account, put in just $10. So that when they stop the 24x, you just add money to that one. You won't have problem. Because if the 24x go, yes, 12 is still going to be there, but 1 and 2 are not the same. Thank you very much. Do have a nice time. Tomorrow, we'll not, I'm taking this avenue again to invite either you participated in our last event on Saturday or not. We're doing 3 days marathon activities. Okay? We're doing 3 days marathon activities, fast track, and it's kicking off today. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And the time is 8 p.m. GMT plus 1. So if you're on the group, we'll send you the link and just make sure you join and participate. It's free. Nobody's charging you to attend. That may help you to learn some things and maximize your trading and investing opportunity. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So we're behind schedule already. Do have a nice time and bye for now.